Give it a shot. Okay, we'll call the regular meeting of the Norwalk WPCA, March 20th, 2023 to order. We do not have a quorum at this time. It's 5:33 p.m. Maybe we can wait a minute and see if we get a quorum.
Here, yeah, so just give it a second.
Okay, I see his number.
Chris, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, we have a quorum.
Seems that way.
Okay, I just did something which I don't understand. I guess, is there a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Okay, by Mr. Igneri. And all in favor, please say your name out loud.
Whoever.
Chris Manella.
Thank you.
Barbara Smith,
Thank you.
John Bovee.
Thank you.
And John Igneri.
Igneri. Thank you. And Ostafine is positive too. Okay, so we'll go into executive session. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you there.
Okay.
Thank you, Daleen. Bovee, Smith. Wait a second for Igneri and Manella. Give us our quorum. Mr. Igneri is with us. I think Chris is driving. It's probably going to take him a second to dial in. There he is. Chris?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Okay, we have a quorum. It's 5:53. And we just left executive session and no action was taken. We are being recorded. The regular meeting is back in session. Is there a motion for number 3 to approve the meeting minutes of the WPCA held on February 21st?
So moved.
By Mr. Igneri. Any comments, questions, or corrections? Hearing none, I'll jump in. I was curious if Greg Burnett was at this meeting. I thought he was. I might be thinking about the meeting before. I'll just leave that out there as a comment.
I think it was the meeting before.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Okay,
I think
so-
he was not here.
Darren,
I think he was not here for that meeting.
I don't
Okay.
remember. Yeah, I don't think he was there, Darren.
Okay, it must be the one before where Constantine was there and he was there.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was the one voting. All right, on page, it's labeled 3, I guess it's the cover sheet for the meeting minutes. I noticed Chris Manella's name has 2 N's. Okay.
That's
The
right.
next page, item number 2, I believe there were 6 in favor. Says the motion passed with in favor. I think it's 6. Because there was 1 abstention, Mr. Meek, and I'm going by how many people we had. And the next page, which is item number 7, in the body, again, Manella with 1 N should be 2 N's. And that's all I had. And nobody else said anything, so I think that was it. Nothing else? Nothing further from anyone?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ostafine, Smith, Bovee, Ignary. Chris?
Yes, aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. That's the end of our business. Number 4, it is 5:56 PM. Contract operation reports.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everybody. It was a pretty quiet month in February. We were awaiting the return of our Vector truck, so we had a loaner unit, which wasn't exactly at the level of performance of our truck. Good news is we got that back at the end of February, did a full maintenance on the entire truck, all the hydraulics, all the engine components. So it's back on the road and ready to go. So we'll see some good improvement in the jetting and inspection mileage over the next few months. Otherwise, facility was in compliance with all permit parameters. And we were able to get a good proposal for the repair of the west gravity thickener. I think we talked about last month, we had a catastrophic failure. We have a multi short and long-term plan. We've got a proposal. I think there's a document in your package about that for a company called Northeast Water that the city has approved us to move forward on. The next step is to get an engineering drawing back, which we should be receiving any day, just to verify that the new steel beams that we're going to put in are going to be able to support the structure. And then we'll be moving forward on that project. Don't have a completion date yet, though, on that. And otherwise, that's about it. It's a pretty quiet month, unless anyone has any questions.
Any questions? No.
No.
Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to number 5. It is 5:58 PM.
Right, item 5A, the monthly munis report is included in the board package. Anybody has any questions? Otherwise, item D, WPCA engineering projects, the facility plan update. We actually have a meeting tomorrow with Arcadis, Veolia and WPCA staff to go over the final settling tanks and aeration system. They have some questions for us. They're still preparing the draft reports. Starting in April, we're going to start seeing some sections of the draft report, and hopefully by early May, we'll have a final draft report that we can review in detail and then start providing comments to the team. Okay.
I'm gonna go through some updates on the capital improvement projects. Share some slides.
The green to the left.
Okay, sure.
Jim Hogan.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
So I'm going to start with the collection system updates. We have updates on the Wall Street Night Street project and the Dreamy Hollow project. On the Wall Street Night Street project, the new 30-inch sanitary sewer line is now in service. The contractor is now working on a revised plan to abandon the old sewer main that's located in this location. They had identified some groundwater in the location, and they're preparing a plan to properly abandon and grout in this location. So we're awaiting that plan from them. So that's all we have on this project. On the Dreamy Hollow project, which involves the installation of drainage improvements, sanitary sewer improvements, and water main improvements in the Dreamy Hollow and Bettsbrook area, they're doing RCP box culvert installation and also the installation of catch basins. So this shows the below grade structure of the catch basin. And here you see the top of the newly installed catch basin. We also have some updates on the pump station work that's currently in progress. On the Karen Drive pump station, we had a bypass pumping setup in order to pump out the wet well for cleaning and coating. We have the bypass pump shown here, and they're pulling out of this manhole that we can sort of see here, but it's a little bit covered a little bit, and then it pumps through this bypass connection here that pumps through the existing force main for the pump station. Here we see the interior of that wet well. So they're able to clean and sandblast the interior. They also noted there's this opening in the wet well that leads to a secondary area. That's no longer in service. It may have been used as an overflow at another point, but they're recommending to close off this area with a plate, as that secondary wet well area is not in use. And this here shows the interior of the wet well that has been coated, and also new floats have been installed. They also installed new suction piping on the pumps that we could see here, and new valves. And if we go back to Karen Drive for a moment, letting me go back. Sorry, having some technical difficulties, but I was just going to mention that the work at Karen Drive is largely completed. They're just doing some exterior work at the pump station, and they should be completed potentially by, I would say, by the end of April or May 1st. Is that? Yep. So this is the Woodward Avenue pump station. Here we have the bypass pumping setup, so they're able to pump out the wet well for cleaning. Here is the bypass pump. It's pulling from this manhole here. And then we have the bypass pumping, and it's pumping through this bypass connection that uses the existing force main at the pump station. Here we have a photo of the kind of right above the well area. The contractor is currently in progress, sandblasting, cleaning, coating the wet well located down below. They're also doing an inspection, so that's currently in progress. New electrical equipment has been installed, including a new MCC, temperature control panel, lighting control panel. They also installed 2 new dehumidifiers on the lower level of the pump room that are shown here for moisture control. There were some unanticipated items that were identified. Here we have the walls kind of above that wet well area. And this cracking or chipping of the walls was identified. So this is going to require concrete repair work that wasn't originally anticipated. And we're working with the consultant and the contractor to prepare scope for this concrete repair work. It was also identified that the influent existing gravity sewer going to the pump station is in poor condition. It's severely corroded, so you can see in this photo. And it is recommended that we do pipe lining, and we're looking at lining 3 segments here to improve the condition of the pipe. So the work at this pump station is likely to continue through April and May to finalize these items. Thank you.
Any questions on the construction projects?
The only question, that once, I don't have I'm driving. I looked at the pictures before. The pump station concrete failure. Did you consider coring that to see what was happening there? To see if it's more significant than just the face of the wall on the inside of the pump station and not happening on the outside as well?
Wright Pierce, our consultant, Kovacs Construction, and the folks they're talking to have not recommended that. We can ask that question. They believe it's all surface impact due to hydrogen sulfide over the years, getting into the concrete to the rebar. It looks like the rebar was installed too close to the edge of the concrete, so it's actually causing it to pop. It's about 1.5 inches. The rebar is about 1.5 inches into the concrete. Ideally, you want at least 2 inches or more of concrete on the outside of the rebar. But we will ask that.
Roger. Yeah, no, I knew that. I was just wondering if you had the same problem on the outside. You know what I mean? So you're not fixing the inside and then it's just going to happen to you again.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. No, we haven't, we'll talk to the team about it. But what the approach is to knock off, get the experts in, knock off the concrete that's popping, and then reassess as well. So that'll be part of the assessment.
That's a good point. If the rebar is no good, you're gonna have a bigger problem, right?
They've seen this before, and they're looking at doing some kind of epoxy coating once we break off the concrete, get it down sandblast. The goal is to, right now, we're in the process of sandblasting and preparing the wet well for epoxy coating itself. And that takes about 3 to 4 weeks to give it time to cure once you complete the coating. So once that's done, the station's back online. We're still waiting for pricing too, to continue to come up with a solution. But the work would be scheduled following the pump station being back online, covering everything up, breaking off the concrete, and ultimately what the team's thinking is it's going to be some other specialized coating that you coat the rebar to keep it from corroding anymore. And then that coating you apply to the concrete as well to help prevent hydrogen sulfide from entering and causing more future problems. But damage is done. The station was installed, I believe, in the early 1970s. And as over time, if additional areas have issues, we'll continue to address it. But at least we'll address majority of the wall down in the wet well area.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, I guess we're on appeals now.
Yep. It's been quiet.
So
To date, we have $39,693 in adjustments. And that's, for everybody's knowledge, that's money that are adjustments that we made given back. And then the last item is information copies. It's just a public notice that the board approved rates in the month of February.
Okay. Are there any questions on anything on the agenda or not on the agenda? No. Is there a motion to adjourn? Mr. Igneri, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Foster Fine, Smith, Bovee, Igneri, Manella?
Aye.
Okay. It is 6:09 and we are adjourned.
Have a good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Nice to see everybody. See you next month.